most people make average money. And if everybody just accepted that, okay, everybody's not millionaires, everybody is not like above average. In fact, the percentage of people that are above average is actually quite small. Then like I think everyone would be more reasonable. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when everyone becomes more reasonable, then there'll be more bridges built between men and women, and it will become less transactional and more about actually real relationships. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's such a broad topic. Like even just listening to you speak, I think that when you speak about real relationships, right, I'll address that to begin with. That notion of like love, loyalty, everlasting sort of like sustainable relationships has faltered away. Like we don't live in a society where that's number one put on a pedestal and number two sustainable.
You don't think it's sustainable?
I don't think it's sustainable. I'm speaking from the perspective of the institution of marriage. The more I see the world around me, I feel like it's something that human beings aren't able to sustain. I think that if you're entering marriage based on common goals, based on wanting to build together to achieve certain things in your life, like a family, a big house, maybe open up businesses, that's one thing. But for me, the notion of like love plus sort of like building plus, oh, we're going to stay together forever, I think it just gets a bit too muddied up. I think that's too much, and that's where people are going wrong. They feel like they can have the whole package. And for me personally, I don't believe you can have the whole package. I feel like you have to be realistic and you have to choose.
So what you said, so okay, so what's realistic in your opinion? Because I put in the title of this video that like they want money, not, and it's not about love or something along those lines, yeah. And what you're saying is kind of going along with that. Like,
see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a title, but I do believe that I'm not coming from a male perspective where I'm saying, oh, women are gold diggers and women just want men's money and stuff like that. However, I do feel like a transactional relationship based on that, not necessarily it being one-sided where the woman's a leech and she's viciously just, leaking out a man's money. And then let's say in the event that he was to lose his money, she's off. I mean, that's a wicked person. I'm talking about a relationship can actually be based on what the man is doing for the woman, let's say financially, and also what the woman is able to give the man back, not necessarily financially, but in a different way. I believe that when people try to say, okay, I want love, I want my man to be able to do this for me, like that whole idealistic happy ever after, I feel like it's not realistic. People need to choose. You either want a provider and you're the sort of woman that a provider male is attracted to and wants to look after, right? Or you can keep your vision, to the floor and level and go for a guy who's a normal guy earning a normal wage. And he may not necessarily be the one that makes your heart flutter, but the two of you can kind of combine your efforts and have some sort of stability. But you can't have it all. Or you can decide that, you're going to forego these two things and you're just going to chase love. You're just going to chase love. You're just going to go for somebody that just makes, when you see them, you're literally just like, oh my gosh, butterflies as they call it. You just can't have it all. And I feel like relationships are failing because people expect, let's say women sometimes expect that they can have it all.
What do you think, like, a woman will offer a guy if she gets with a guy who's a provider, he pays for everything? What is the kind of trade-off that the woman offers in that situation?
I believe one of the trade-offs that I can just think off the top of my head and putting myself in that circumstance is like routine. So she can offer the man like routine and stability. And okay, for example, right? You're married to or you're dating like an affluent man, right? As a woman, you can make his life easier by making sure his life is a little bit more organized and a little bit easier. Doing like the little things, i.e. like preparing breakfast, preparing his lunch, preparing dinner, making sure his stuff is together, making sure that his home life is a little bit more together. On an emotional aspect, you can be there for him. Let's say if he's had a hard day, if he wants to talk, you know, just be a good companion. I'm not talking about nothing monetary here. I'm not talking about absolutely nothing monetary. I'm talking about being a supportive role in a man's life.
I think most guys are not really looking at women for monetary gain anyway, to be honest. So like I think that goes without saying. I think that you're saying that okay, you would make the man's life more organized and stuff like that, but like if he's already a successful guy that's accumulated a lot of money, surely he's already quite organized and smart himself. Like
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, no. I mean, not necessarily.
not necessarily, yeah. But what do you think happens most of like? How do you think a guy, unless he got inherited money, yeah? How do you think a guy is going to become successful? He's going to have to be smart and logical and probably have systems in place and be quite kind of organized, don't you
He
think?
can have systems in place, but that still doesn't mean like his house is a home. What a woman can bring to a man's house is to make it into a home. I.e., even having kids with a man, a woman is sacrificing her body, she's sacrificing her life goals.
Yeah, but women tend to want to have kids though.
No, that's quite a broad statement. A lot of women do have kids because they love a guy or they're trying to keep the relationship going, or it comes part and parcel of being in a relationship. Nowadays, if you look at a lot of women are going against having kids. They prefer to be single. So not necessarily.
But do you think most women want to have kids though?
I think, yeah, generally speaking, most women do want to have kids, yeah.
Yeah, so like this is the thing, like because when women say, "Oh, but I'm giving my body to a man to have kids," it's like, bro, you want to do that anyway. You were gonna do it anyway, bro. Like it's not necessarily specific to that guy. You wanted to have kids. If he wanted to have kids, you wanted to have kids. Cool, innit? But I think that most women want to have kids.
It's not
So
right.
it's not necessarily you're doing him a favor. It's not necessarily you're doing him a favor, like solely. It's a joint thing, if anything.
It is a joint decision, but the woman, it takes a toll on the woman's like mental plus her body more. So as much as it is a joint decision, someone is having to sacrifice of themselves more than the other person.
Yeah, I get that. I get that the physical toll that it takes for a woman to have a child. But if you want to go and do that anyway, you can't put that on the guy and be like, "Oh, I did this for you," because you did it for yourself as well because you wanted to have a kid. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's you did it for both of you. Like, it's like
I get what you're saying.
It's like if I said I want to go rock climbing, and I say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring you rock climbing with me," and you come rock climbing with me, and then I say, "Oh, I did rock climbing for you," you know, you're gonna be like, "No, you didn't. You was gonna go anyway. You wanted to do this."
I get what you're saying, but what I will also say is I do agree that most women do want to have kids, but then that also leads into the fact that like a lot of women didn't even really feel that they had a choice whether or not they did want to have kids or not. So what's happening now in today's current day and age, a lot of women, because they're now more aware of the options in their life and the choices that they can make, a lot of women are asking themselves that question as to like, do they really want to have kids, and if they do, for what reason?
I get what you're saying. There's more choice and more
Because we're not indoctrinated from like our mothers or our grandmothers just to be like, oh, that's just what you do. So now, because we're having a lot more time to be able to like actually think about the reason, and I feel like the reason is very important. When you can kind of like break that down apart and see why you're having a kid, I think that it leads to a deeper conversation, and it can sometimes even hinder that. It can sometimes even hinder starting a family.
Yeah, but then let's see which women you're talking about. Because if you're talking about 22-year-old girls, yeah, of course they're gonna be like, I just want to live my life and party and have a good time. Yeah, but like, what about the women that are like closer to menopause, who now their option is kind of diminishing? I think they will probably have a different mindset. So it depends which women you're talking about and who you're on about, really. Because it's all well and good saying, "Oh yeah, I don't want to have kids," when you have the option. What about when the option's not there no more?
Yeah, that is a point. Yeah.
I know. Don't worry. I know.
No, but going back to what we were saying in terms of what a woman can bring to a man, I feel like a woman brings a lot to a man, like outside of being able to provide 50-50 and help him out. Like, women are just, we're nurturers, and that nurturing extends to our partners in relationships. And that's why they say behind every successful man is a woman.
Yeah, but surely if you got with a man who's already in a position to provide for you, and remember, he's providing for himself and you, so that means he's already successful. He was successful without you, and now because you've seen that he's successful, now you want to add yourself into his life. So I don't think that statement is actually accurate. I think there's a lot of statements that are out there that are in kind of glamorize women in a way which is not totally always accurate. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, behind every man is a successful woman. I don't think there's successful men that they're just bachelors. They're on their own, like, or as I said, they were already successful before they met their wife.
Yeah, but the fact that they then met their wife and made room for that just even goes to show that there was a need for not only that female companionship, but there was still something missing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that the woman did not make him successful. He was already successful. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying that she's not maybe an asset into him in his life, but I'm saying she did not make him successful. If he's already the provider and that's the type of guy the woman is looking for, that means he had to have been successful already. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And those type of men don't need women. Going back to the question that I caught on, they don't need women to go 50-50, like on a monetary scale. They need a woman for something else other than what she can provide or how she can.
And what do you think? And what do you think that is?
What do you mean? What do I think that is?
What do you think? Okay, if you come across a man that he's a provider, he doesn't do 50-50, he's 100%, he's successful enough to consistently provide for you and him, what do you think he's looking for in a woman? What is the things that you provide that he's potentially looking for?
Companionship.
And any women watching right now, you can join the live as well if you've got an opinion on this subject as well. Don't be scared, man. But anyway, carry on.
Companionship. A man of that caliber is able to also pick and choose the type of woman that he wants. So he's also looking for schmecks. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the type of woman
number one.
Well, however you want to place it, Richard.
It's probably number one, though. I'm just being honest. Like,
well, to be honest with you, a man that's worked that hard and got himself to that position, he should absolutely be able to choose who he wants to be with. So I'm not even mad at that. You know, that's the least he can do for himself. He deserves it. Yeah. So like I said, companionship, smecks. I would say stability, because not every man wants to be seeing different women every single weekend. Some men do want consistency and stability. Some men do want, when they say, do you know what, darling, let's go fishing, they want you to come along with your boots and sit there whilst you guys fish and have just, conversation. Some men don't want, I saw someone in the chat write cleaners. Some men don't want cleaners. They actually want a homemaker. That's what actually attracts them to a woman. They think it's one of her feminine wiles. They want a woman that can clean and cook, and for them, that's a big turn on,
Mm. Do you think that it's a fair exchange? Because he's basically financing your whole life. Do you think that what you bring and what he brings is equal?
See, that word equal, I wouldn't say.
Do you think they balance themselves out then?
I think they do balance themselves out, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like women in that position put their lives not necessarily on hold, because everyone's got a choice to make, right? But they then center the man. So I don't know if you've heard of this whole notion of decentering men, right? But a woman that sort of placed a man in the circle of her life is centering a man. So in essence, she's kind of like put her life goals to one side, she's put her aspirations to one side, and she's just sort of like pandering to this man's needs. As a bonus for her, she's getting a holiday, she's getting a shopping spree, she's probably living in a lavish house, but she's also giving of herself.
I think that's an easier life, to be honest. I don't think that there's any, she doesn't lose anything really, because even if she's with a guy that can finance her whole life, if she's got hobbies or anything she wants to do, she'll be able to do that, bro. Like, she's not gonna be, unless she's got kids with the guy, yeah, she's gonna have time, bro. So if she's got anything that she is passionate about, like a tangible thing that she's passionate about, she's gonna have time, and he'll have the money to facilitate that as well. I think that's a very easy life, to be honest.
I wouldn't say it's easy, because the only reason why I'd say that is you have to understand, in that sort of power dynamic, as a woman, you do kind of have to minimize yourself a little bit. So you have to understand that the man is bringing home the bacon. The power dynamic is not in your favor. So whether or not you know how to be submissive, you're going to have to learn to minimize possibly your thoughts, your feelings, potentially how, if, when you want to do certain things. I would say I do agree with you in terms of how it's been glamorized to look like it is easier. That's why a lot of women are trying to attain that kind of lifestyle, because it's been glamorized that it's easy. But I'll be honest,
do you agree that many women just want an easy life? They just don't really want to do nothing. Like, they just want a guy to come and just basically be their adopted father. 'Cause that's what I honestly think. Like, because think about it, this is the timeline. You know, if you had your father in your life, your father, your daddy's little princess, blah blah blah. You're great, you're perfect. I'll do everything for you, protect you, all of that. And then after that, the next man in your life is this guy, hopefully. And then he'll basically do the same thing.
to be honest with you, I will agree with you, because you know what facts is facts. I do feel like if I had to say majority wise or percentage wise, it's a higher percentage of women that would want a guy to play that role in their life. It's very rare you see, not that it's rare, but it's less likely you see a woman that's like, no, I want to do everything for myself and, you know, change my car tires myself, buy my house myself. By the time a woman buys a house herself, has bought her car, takes herself on holiday, she's kind of a bit hardened. And as much as she'll use it as a bragging right, she's also a little bit resentful. Let's be honest, yeah? It's kind of like masculinized her. So yeah, the majority of women, I'd be lying if I say that we don't fantasize or idealize or try to attain that sort of man. Now, can the majority of women get that? Absolutely not.
You know something I was thinking about? Because, you know, when you go on Instagram, you see the craziest things people, like, you know, you hear crazy things people say, yeah? And, like, you know, I was just listening to some of these women and, you know, they're complaining about guys as usual. Guys are broke. There's no good guys left. All the guys that are left are trash, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, number one, yeah, there's not enough guys for all of you women to go round. There's more women than there are guys on this planet anyway.
But isn't that because the majority of them have been incarcerated? Or is that because I saw a stat the other day that said that it's false to say that there's not as many men as there is women, and that's because the majority have been incarcerated? I don't know if that's just for the US.
No. I'm just talking about biology. Like, there's a higher chance of you having a daughter than having a son just because of the chromosomes. There's a higher chance. Like, that's why traditionally when people have a baby boy, that's why it's like, oh, it's a boy. Yeah. That's why people date, because there's a higher chance you're gonna have a girl.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, really and truly, if we understand that there's more women walking around than there are men, even though the way guys act thirsty, you would think it's the opposite way round. Yeah. There's not enough high value men to go round. There's not enough because most guys are going to be average money. Most guys are going to be average looks. Most guys are going to be average height. So when you hear so many women talk about they want a man that's rich, it's like you're not realistic. And plus, most of you women, you're only average looking anyway. You're not even bad bees like that. So how do you think? Like, how do you do this equation? Like, and that's why when I listen to a lot of women talk online, I just laugh. Like I used to like be like, oh, why are they saying this? But now I just laugh because like you're not thinking the logistics properly.
Online is not a real place though, because I don't really I am online and I do look at online, but at the same time I look at real life, and in real life I see a lot of average looking men married to average looking women. I see a lot of average looking girls dating average looking guys.
Yeah, but that's because they believe in themselves that they've settled with that guy.
The woman believes in themselves.
Yeah, the women believe that they settled,
But just wait for an average looking
and that's why
guy.
most relationships are ended by women.
Yeah, but that is absolutely true. And that's why even for me, I kind of like look at marriage in a certain type of way, but there's context to that. There's context to why marriages or relationships are, the demise of it is instigated by women. There's a lot of things that I've come across that if I speak about, it's just going to be like...
What do you think is the main reason that women end marriages and relationships? What do you think the main reason, top, from your idea of the world, from people you know, etc.?
So I would say that emotionally, men are emotionally unavailable.
So you think because women view men as emotionally unavailable, they leave relationships and marriages?
I do. I think that women, I think absolutely, and listen, I'm speaking from truth. I think that women are a gender that does require attention. I might even put in brackets a lot of attention, right? And I see that within relationships, within marriages, where the man sort of turns his attention away from the woman after a few months or after a few years, it's almost like you can see the woman withering slowly and dying emotionally. And that instigates a lot of marriage breakdowns. Obviously, we know that financially, they say finances is one of the main causes of divorce.
No, they say that is the main.
They say that is the main. But for me, keeping my eyes in reality, keeping my eyes within my own relationships that I've had in the past, and keeping my eyes on obviously what's happening on social media and around me, I would say that a lot of men are emotionally unavailable.
Okay, so you're saying that from just your own experience, or you're saying that's what you think is generally what's happening?
I'm saying that from my experience. I'm saying that from looking at people around me, their relationships, and I'm saying that from what I also see online. All three combined, I would say outside of finances, I would say that a lot of men are emotionally unavailable. They don't know, they neglect their relationship, and they don't know how to kind of like sustain it long term to keep things thriving.
Do you think it could possibly be a situation where guys get comfortable, yeah, and just complacent, and then the women they're with are basically bored? Because I think that's another issue. I think that women get bored very easily, whereas us men, we're pretty easy to please. Like we will be content. Like listen, as long as you open your legs, you know, you don't shout too much, you don't give me too much headache, don't be too materialistic, we'll be good.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Like women will want a roller coaster, dramas, rom-coms, like excitement thing. Oh, I need experiences and all of this. It's just like, bro, like you're an adult, man. Why are you talking like a kid?
See, I agree with you and I disagree with you. So I agree with you where you said that women sort of need a lot more sort of like validation, and they like men are easily satisfied. What you just said about a woman just opening their legs, this is what I'm trying to say. You see like how men think. A woman is not going into a relationship with a man thinking that that's going to be her life. When she soon comes to realize that literally you can sit there and not speak, and you can sit there and when it's bedtime, your man can literally just want to get things on, right? And the next day you cannot have a deep conversation for a month, and the typical man would be okay with that. But that's what I'm saying. For a woman, it chips away at her. It chips away at her core. Women,
I'll be
sorry, thing.
real.
Women are going into relationships for love. Do you understand? This whole notion that we've been sold, like that's your soulmate, that's your partner. You and him are going to be gisting every single night, like under the covers, like this is your busy mate. And men are going into a relationship for maybe just kind of like, yeah, someone just to have consistent schmecks with, someone to kind of do stuff with.
No, I don't agree with that. I'll be real with you. I think that men are more romantic than women are, to be honest. I'll be real, and I'm not joking. I'm being so sincere. I think men are actually. I think that this whole idea that women are more romantic is just programming. I think that men are actually more inclined to fall in love very quickly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are not speaking my language.
Yes. I think that men have more a higher sense of loyalty to their woman as well. Because, like, for instance, I'll give you examples. Yeah, even in my own life. Yeah, like when a guy's got his woman, his proper girl, not just some girl he's linking, his girl. Yeah. It will take a lot for him to walk away from her. It will take a lot. There's guys that had their woman cheat on them and they still ain't left. Yeah? Whereas we know that most relationships are ended by women. And women move on very fast. Like, when men get heartbroken, bruh, like, I remember when it happened to me and I was talking to all my mates. And I was talking to my mates who I'd never talked about that kind of aspect of life with them before, and all of them had the same story. Like, oh my god, I've been through the same thing, bro. A girl, I was in love with her. I was with her. I thought she loved me. She left me. Boom, boom, boom. 2 weeks later, she was with another guy. A month later, she's in a full-blown relationship. A month later, she's pregnant. Blah blah blah. I was broken. I couldn't even talk to girls. I didn't talk to no one for like a year. That's a very common story. Women get their heart broke as well. But a lot of times, you notice women move on very fast though. I don't know if you agree with that.
Women are always, yeah. What you just said, I agree with you. Where typically men do get their heart broken by that one girl. But then where I disagree is they get their heart broken by that one girl and they turn savage for life. Like, but women, they get their heart broken. Literally. But women, we get our heart broken and we're supposed to not be bitter. We're supposed to brush off our knees and keep going. Find a good man. You chose wrong. Back to what you said again. Why are the women, like when you talk to your friends and they're telling you, oh, my girl left, why are the women leaving? Again, it goes back to you asking me what's the number one
that's what I said. I said earlier, I think a lot of times if it's not a financial thing, it's a thing of maybe the girl didn't really find him that attractive, because again, as I said, I think a lot of women feel like they're settling. Yeah. So they're probably with a guy they're not 100% attracted to you like that, and they feel that they could potentially, the grass is greener. Yeah. Or they just get bored with the guy. They get bored with the same old missionary. Yeah, and that's what it is. That's what I think. Now, obviously, there's other instances where like the man has been horrible to them and been evil to them, and that I'm not denying that, but I don't think that's even 50%. I don't even think that's 40%. I think
the man gets like complacent, like you said.
I think that's more like 25% of the time that would happen. Like, I think most times when these women leave, probably they've met someone at work, at the gym. Maybe their friends have told them, yo, you can do better.
You said that men are more loyal. The thing is though, right? Women get approached more than men, right? So it's not that men are loyal. Men are only as faithful as their options. Because let's say an average looking guy who's got average money, right? Average height or below average height gets approached by a woman that he feels like is out of his league. The loyalty will fling out the window. The only reason why we're able to measure it more against women is because women are getting approached more frequently than men. So I guess in that sense you can say that, oh, men are more loyal, but not really, because I tell you what, a man is only as faithful as his options. And that's why a lot of times when men go on like lad boys holidays and stuff like that, or if a man is able to even afford a schmex worker, they will do it. If a man can get away with
Yeah, but
cheating,
they
he
won't
will.
leave their woman though. A woman, if a woman cheats, that relationship is done. It's dead to her. She's gone. She's mentally gone. Like, and I'm not saying it's right. Listen, don't get me twisted. I'm not giving men a pass for cheating, but what I'm saying is that when men, in my opinion, and a lot of men will co-sign what I'm saying. Press one in the chat if you agree. Men can disconnect from the physical, from the schmecks. Yeah, men can emotionally disconnect from it. So I could literally, like for instance, hypothetically, me and you could be dating or in a full-blown relationship. I could sleep with somebody else, but there's no emotional attachment there. And then I could still want to be with you, be good to you, all of that. Yeah. Now, in my opinion, women, they don't operate the same way. Like I don't believe that unless a woman is a straight up, like, just slaw, yeah, I don't think that women are really capable of just sleeping with a guy outside of their relationship and there's no emotional attachment. I think if a woman cheats, that relationship done, it's over. Like, she don't love the guy. Like, the loyalty's gone. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a deep thing. Think about it. It's a deep thing for you to lay down, open your legs and let a guy penetrate. That's a deep one.
Yeah, you wanted it. You wanted every bit of it, and you liked the guy enough to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, even alcohol induced or not, we we kind of calculate what we're gonna do a little bit, tiny bit better than you guys. What I just find dangerous with men though is the fact that they can compartmentalize the sexual act so much. That's just what I find very, very scary with men. And again, the complacency.
Does it make you feel like any man could cheat at any time?
Absolutely. That's what I say. A man is only as faithful as his options.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This goes back to when us guys will say to women, it depends on who you pick. Because if you pick a man based on his moral compass and like, is what kind of person is he? What is his code of conduct? How does he look at the world? Because, like, if you pick a guy that has a high moral compass and family orientated and stuff like that, then you've got a better chance of being with a guy that wouldn't dream of cheating. But unfortunately, a lot of women, they are picking guys based on how tall he is, how cute he is, and how much money has he got. And if you pick guys based on those parameters, you are going to fall into problems. Simple.
That's not true, because
if he's got those things, other women can see he's got those things. And other women don't mind sleeping with another woman's man. They don't.
Facts. I agree with that. But women aren't just picking the guy who's like over 6 foot, because again, like we said, that guy is not readily available. Unfortunately, what it is, yeah, King, is that a lot of men, I'ma say it, their moral compass is slightly off kilter, and a lot of women are struggling to accept that, because, like you said, and I do agree with you, a man can detach emotionally and engage in the act of smex. What a lot of women are doing is they get into relationships with men and then they're having to leave or throw away the whole relationship because of infidelity. On top of, like I said, the men being complacent and lacking like emotional availability. Because a lot of men aren't faithful. Personally, I don't believe that
a lot of women are not faithful.
Human beings aren't solely monogamous. There's different categories of people, and society has built a structure which is geared towards the institution of marriage, which again is like a business, and it's a business for profit, and it's molded people to be in monogamous relationships when it's not sustainable.
Well, it actually, to be honest with you, monogamy actually favors women, because if a woman is just sleeping with loads of men, there's risk of pregnancy. And if you're sleeping with loads of different men, the problem of paternity rises up, because then you don't know who's the father and who's going to take care of the kid.
Well,
And
seeing as the mother,
if you go and have multiple, if you go and have multiple kids with multiple baby fathers, now you're putting yourself even more in a difficult situation in life. So actually, monogamy actually favors women, to be honest with you,
well, no, not really.
because there's always a risk of pregnancy. Even no matter how safe you do it, there's always a risk.
Well, no, the patriarchy set up monogamy in favor of men because with a woman you can always determine paternity, but with men you cannot, and so that's why monogamy, I disagree, it's more in favor of men. Even in the current society that we live in, child support, which is literally a monetary value on sustaining a child, is put in place because a lot of men don't like to, you know, look after their children financially. So the government put something in place like child
A
support
lot
to
of
say
them don't like
to
to
say
look after their kids.
a lot of men. A
Okay.
lot of
But
men.
but you seem to have ignored what I just said. So monogamy, yeah, actually favors a woman because even with what you said with child support, if the woman's been monogamous with her body, then she knows 100% who the father is. If she hasn't been monogamous, then she's gonna have a problem because she's not gonna know who the father is. So how's she gonna accurately put someone on child support?
Fundamentally, women are the ones who rear children and who nurture children. So with regards to what you're saying, it's never really been, it's paternity and monogamy was more in favor of men because men wanted to know that they were basically giving their child their surname to make sure that their child is going to inherit.
But you just
whatever-
said men don't want to look after their kids. So why would they care if they don't want to look after their kids? Why would they care? You just said that they don't care about looking after their kids, and now you're saying, "Oh, but they want to know. They want monogamy, so they know to give their kid their last." What are you talking about?
Well, under the
That's two different
institution of marriage, that's why marriage was even, that's why marriage even came about. It was to pass down assets. It wasn't, sorry, it wasn't this whole notion of like love. Marriage came about in order to pass down assets from one generation to another, and that was more led on the male side.
But what's that got to do with what we're talking about monogamy, though?
So that's why monogamy was more in the favor of men because the man could ensure that that was his seed.
Yeah, but it traditionally it will be the man who has assets. The woman doesn't bring nothing but herself. So what are you talking about? The woman doesn't have no assets to split. It's usually the man that's coming in with assets. The woman comes with herself.
Yeah, but we're talking in the respect of monogamy. And who it
Yeah, I know,
favors
and
more.
I'm saying, what has that got to do with the monogamy? That has nothing to do with the monogamy. It has nothing to do with it.
No,
What
it
I'm
does.
saying is very clear. I'm saying that monogamy favors women. The idea of monogamy, it favors women because number one, you know 100% who the father of your potential child will be. If you're sleeping with loads of different men, you don't know who the father is. Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't more favor men. How would it more favor men? Men want to sleep with all different types of women. So how would it favor men?
Which they do anyway.
No, but how would that's what I'm saying. It doesn't favor men. It favors women.
Well, it
That's what I'm
did because if both sexes were sleeping with whoever they wanted to sleep with, right?
Yeah.
And they're still in some sort of relationship, the woman could literally get pregnant for another man and pass off the kid as the guy that she was with. So monogamy favored men because then they were able to ensure that that was their seed.
But what? But, bro, like if she passes off the child as his and it's not his, that doesn't favor him.
What do you mean if she passes off the child as his and it's not his? That's why monogamy favors men.
No, but traditionally, okay, like let's put it like this, yeah. Let's put it like this, yeah. Back in the days, like if a woman had a child and did not have a man to look after her and the child, she was at the risk of not making it, bro. They weren't gonna make it. There's still places in the world that are like that now. Like a woman can't have it. If a woman ain't got a man there to protect and provide for her and her child, she's not gonna survive.
All right, so let me stop you
So,
there, right?
so obviously, the whole idea of monogamy is going to keep the man anchored with the woman and a potential child if there's one there. Otherwise, the man will just go sleep with this woman, sleep with that woman, and just keep going on and just doing whatever, bro. Like, and these women will all be just single mums.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but then what happens, what could happen as well is that the woman can just say, this is your child, and the man would have to believe it. So
Would it?
therefore,
Why
yeah,
would
they
you have to
would.
believe? If we're living in a time where there's no there's no like way to force him, and he knows that, oh well, she doesn't believe in monogamy and she's sleeping with other guys. Why is he doesn't have to stick around,
You know,
even if he doesn't even know that you slept with other guys, he doesn't have to stick around.
do you know there's villages nowadays where
He could just
non,
leave.
do you know there's cultures nowadays where, and it still is right today, where they don't have a monogamous setup, and if a woman gets pregnant, basically the whole community looks after the child,
Okay,
or whoever who her direct partner is would then take on the child as her own,
that's
and
definitely a third world country.
that's what used to happen. So like in a
That's
lot of
definitely
instances,
do you what?
in a lot of
That didn't
instances,
used to happen.
yes,
No,
it did used to happen.
no. The woman would have to try and survive with her child, bro. You're talking about like some third world. Listen, we don't live in that kind of community. Our society is not community based. It's very individualistic. So, like, I hear what you're saying. In maybe in some village somewhere, but not in the whole, not in this first world, this side of the world. That doesn't exist. Like, if anything, the only thing that might help you is benefits, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. Like, the community's not helping, bro. No one cares, bro. Everyone's got their own problems.
Before monogamy existed, a woman would say, when a woman gets pregnant, she would basically put the child on whoever she deemed more suitable. Basically, that's where I'm coming from. So
That's really
men were
commendable, isn't
realizing.
it?
So basically, monogamy came in place, and it does favor men. I understand what you're trying to say in terms of it does favor women in terms of the man being the provider, but monogamy does favor men because number
What
one,
if the man just says that's not my kid? Then
what do you mean? I mean, nowadays obviously there's paternity.
No, back in the days as well.
Yeah, back in the day, what could he do? What could he
And
do?
furthermore, back in the days, the man would be more in a position to say that because women had less rights.
Okay, he's in a position to say that, but what can he
Back in
do?
the days, women had less rights, yeah, and less of a voice, right? So if a woman was just to say, "Oh yeah, you're the father of the kid," the guy could turn around and say, "No, I'm not. You're a liar." And what's gonna happen? Nothing. Now she's just a single mom trying to survive.
Yeah, but who's saying that didn't happen? The same way that a woman would be in a
Exactly.
monogamous
So that's what I'm
relationship
saying.
and
The
still have
monogamy
a
favors the woman.
listen, I believe it favors. I believe it favors the man. I believe. Sorry, I just want to say
It helps both parties.
the
But it
etiology.
favors the woman more.
Okay, so I want to make my point then because I hear what you're saying. I would say the etiology of monogamy was to favor the man, but obviously it's transcended and it's evolved. But the beginning of monogamy was to determine paternity, and that was in favor of the man. Absolutely. But I do hear you in terms of it does favor the
It
woman.
could only favor both of them. It can't just favor the man solely. That doesn't make sense.
Of
That
course,
doesn't
come
make
on.
sense.
It can't favor
How could you
one
only
without
just
the
favor
other.
the man and not the woman?
But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I feel like
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it initially in its inception,
yes,
monogamy favors
favors the
both
man.
of them, yeah, but it favors the woman more because of the risk of the man just walking off and leaving. That's what I'm saying. Like, hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we talked about that for too long. So what about the money anyway? Like, cause like, all right, let me ask you this, yeah. The majority of women, yeah, outside, yeah, do you think they're looking for love or they're looking for a provider?
We used to be looking for love. We used to, but then we realized what's going on, And so now majority of us are looking for a provider because
So
we realize that there's no love out here.
wow, that's sad. Where
Because like you said, open your legs and just do the do. And like you said, what? Like a man gets his heart broken by that one, and then what? Villain arc. Like so many things. A man doesn't need too much. All of this, like women realize that this whole love notion that we've been sold, it's a farce. And so we've realized, like, okay, how can we ensure that we are compensated well for our time and our efforts? And so we put a figure on our head, and I guess you can call it standards.
standards. It sounds like basically just digging for gold, really.
But why should any woman dig for dirt?
It doesn't have. Why is it always got to be extremes? You're either digging for gold or digging for dirt. Why is it always extremes?
But why not aim high?
No one has ever come out and said that women should be with broke men. Never. No man has ever come out and said that. But you lot always jump to that extreme. You notice that?
Why is it that men view?
Do you think there's only like super rich millionaires and then broke people? Like,
Absolutely not.
So why is it that women never seem to be able to wrap their head around the idea of a man just making a normal income and that being satisfactory? Why is that always just like ignored?
I can tell you why, but you know why as well.
No, I don't. I want to hear it. Go on.
We were never supposed to see how the other half lived to the degree that we see it, right? The most that we were supposed to see was probably like the neighbors way down the street, and maybe the next town, and your relatives, sort of like your second cousins and stuff. Like, we have too much access to the world, and we're seeing how other people live too much, and the human brain was not supposed to conceptualize this, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens is comparison then steps into the picture, and then entitlement then also steps in, right? And then disillusion then steps in. And so with all these ingredients sort of concocted, it kind of leads to people not looking at what they can necessarily get, achieve, and desire.
People?
I would say people as well, because you know what? A lot of men are looking at social media and they are looking at the baddies, and they are
we're talking about money, though. We're talking about
that's
money.
fine. We're talking about money. Money. Okay. So a lot of men as well are also unsatisfied with where they are. So let's say a guy who would have been a very happy bus driver, right? Earning his 35, 40K a year. He's now feeling disenfranchised because he's looking at the next guy on social media, or the guy that he used to know back in school, who's now doing really well in trading, and he's looking at himself like, oh, do you know what? I'm not good enough. So the pendulum swings both ways.
May I ask what's the question?
The question is it all about money or love? Are women looking for money or love? Are they looking for a guy that they're gonna, be with and love and all that, or are they just looking for a guy to provide?
In this generation, a girl wants both at the same time, but that is hard to find. And it's more, like I said the other day on the live the other day, I said it's mentality over materialistic stuff, money-wise. If a man's just a bum and not making no money at all and not trying to find ways to make money, then I hear it. But if he's actually trying, you don't need to have that much money.
I fix your mic, man. Are you using AirPods or something? Cause
Who, me?
Yeah, it sounded a bit like, yeah.
No, I'm not,
Alright, cool. Just
What's
make
it
sure
like?
loud and clear and that, innit? Yeah. But so you think most girls are looking for love? Is that what you're saying?
I think most girls are trying to find both, but I feel like in this generation now, well, of my age anyways, you can find a man. It's hard to find a man with money that's also gonna, not hard, like you can, but you can't rush it. Like, to find a man with money and love that's gonna treat you good mentally as well, it's not really the same. It's not like this night.
When you say a man with money, yeah, what does that even mean, though?
If you're saying you want a man with money, I'm thinking you want a man that's gonna spend a whole bunch of bread, that's got bare money, like bread to his name, like, because a man Like that's what I go. Yeah, I need a man with money. That's just for me. With the girls nowadays, that's them saying, "Yeah, I want a guy with a Merc that's coming up in designer and this and that and got bread." That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I think, innit? Whenever I hear, I want a guy with money, it's not
Yeah,
that they want a guy that is not like obviously
that's not a
again,
bum.
nobody said that. Nobody's ever come out and said women need to date broke guys. Nobody's ever said
Yeah,
that, bro. Yeah, but it's a fact of like you're trying like women want to date like I don't know some millionaire guy and
yeah,
it's unrealistic, fam. So when I hear them say I want a dude with money, I just think you want a millionaire. You want a guy that's
yeah.
making 500k a month. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just unrealistic, innit? Like, but
Hold on, quickly. I'm so sorry. Hi, is it Amora? I just realized I didn't even say hi.
You're right, Leah.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
oh, friends. Anyway, so like, all
So
right.
wait, I just speak to you was talking to.
So I'll just say my breakdown. I just think that women just these days, currently, yeah, unfortunately, it's all transactional in it, yeah, and I think that
Oh, you're a
women,
cutie.
most women, a
Thank
lot of women are
you.
bitter. Hold on, a lot of women are bitter now because
People want to call me pick me because I agree with the men, but I'm just not gonna think
don't worry
that.
about them. Don't worry about them.
No, I know. I don't worry about them because I'm gonna still say my same opinion, same way.
You know, alright,
But
let
you
me just
might
say
you might
this.
have some pick me ways though, babe. Like, so it depends. Because sometimes a pick me is a pick me. You're cute and everything, but it depends. Because you know, you know what? Like, if you're a pick me because of certain things you say, you need to own it. Because sometimes a lot of these rhetorics that men have, it does sort of like gear towards attracting
No,
like the
of
pick
course,
me.
like certain things that I'm not gonna agree with everything a man said, yeah, but certain things, it's like in this generation of time, I'm
You
gonna
have to
say
keep
I'm
it
not gonna
real.
sit there and back my own flipping
If
gender
they're
all the
wrong,
time.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
get it,
exactly.
like.
you can't just agree with something you know is wrong, like just
But
because
I'm the
that person's
same.
got the
I'm the
same
same. I'm the same. But
parts
at the
as you.
same time,
That don't make sense. But the thing is with that, let me just say this: that thing with that pick me thing, that's a shaming line, bruv. That's that. You see that pick me term is to control people.
so is the simp
It's a
line.
form of control because it's like, oh, you're a pick me. Oh, damn, I don't want to be a pick me. I've got to agree with what all the other girls are saying.
Yeah.
It's a control. It's a way of controlling, trying to make everybody just do the same thing and go along.
Yeah. But you guys do that to your peers as well. You guys do that to men by saying, "Oh, he's simping, he's this, he's that." So you have to see that it goes both ways. Absolutely.
No, simping, that's a
Absolutely.
different thing. Simping, do you know my thing? My
I
thoughts,
feel
my
like when I
thought
pick me,
process.
like I
Hold
say,
on,
a
hold on,
man
hold
has
on, hold on, hold on.
to.
Because when people say things, it's like we may think of it different. Yeah. So my mind, a simp is a guy who pedestalizes, idolizes somebody who doesn't deserve it, fam.
Right. Okay.
Now, I think whenever a guy is in a relationship with a good woman, a good girl, he's gonna do some simping there. Yeah, but it's not really simping because the woman deserves good treatment.
I've never heard you say it like that, Riches, and I feel like a lot of your followers need to hear that. They
Yeah, but
need to
that's
hear
why
how
we're
you said
here.
it.
That's
Wow.
why we're
Okay.
here. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. So like, boom, now, like, but I think a lot of guys, because they're desperate for box, they're desperate for female validation. They want women to like them. Now they're going around doing the most, like you got these guys online and they'll championing for women that will never open their legs for them in every life. Yeah. And just, these guys that are doing the most, if I take a girl out on first date, I'm going to spend $5 a bag. That's simping, fam.
That's just a Yamed thing still.
That's an idiot thing. That's simping,
You're just
though.
paying for the front, I'll be
So do you
real.
feel like women should be more open to coffee dates?
Of course.
Coffee dates are nice. That's cute.
You don't know
See,
the
Leah.
you don't know the guy. The guy don't know you. You don't owe each other nothing. So why would a coffee date be unreasonable? You don't
Get
know
me
each
a white
other. You
hot
don't owe
chocolate.
each other
That's me
nothing.
done. Sorry, I love a white hot chocolate.
As I was saying, like blood, like the first time you meet, and you're probably not gonna want to stay with this person for that long as well, unless you really hit it off. But then if you hit it off, then you just extend the date.
I don't agree in coffee dates, and I'm not going to change my stance just because of my good sis is saying that, and just because, you know what, I respect you, King. I always have. I've watched you for years, yeah. But I disagree, and I'm not going to tell you I agree. I disagree. Listen, see, men, you lot need to get better with. Actually, you say women should choose better, and we absolutely should. But you men should also learn how to control your lust and not just be seeing women as box. Because from time you're talking to a woman and you're inviting her out on a date, you should know that she is somewhat the sort of woman that you want to be around. So therefore, make a bit of effort, even if you've got your little
No, you
£50.
don't know that on the
No.
first date. You
Nah.
don't know
See,
that.
Can I say
disagree.
something about the
I
coffee
disagree.
date thing though? You see a coffee date. I'm not gonna go to a coffee date to just be talking about, I want to have a coffee date talking about business, talking about what we're gonna do. Like
Leo,
that's
you're doing too much though. You're doing too much. Why are you giving
Not on
so
the
much on the first
though. A
date?
coffee date wouldn't
Business,
be no
bruv.
first date.
What kind of business is that?
On the first date, business.
No,
this,
not on
this,
the
this.
first date. Not on the first date. Not on the first date. I wouldn't do a coffee date for the first date. I wouldn't do a coffee date for a first date. I wouldn't mind a Nando's though, but not no coffee date.
All right, see, now I see you've gone to Nando's. I'm proud of you, sis. Keep it going up. Keep going up.
This girl said keep it going up.
Do you know what it is though? You see with this whole, I'm sure, I don't think that episode came out, but, which I don't even know if it's on that episode, because I'm not sure. You're the only one that realised not every episode came out that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. There was one that I think I remember saying, you see, with the girls and this whole, a man kind of has to have money and got to do this and do that. I feel like I was saying on there that I think it's also a cultural thing. I can't really speak too tough because there's a couple of times when I've spoken about cultural things, they decide to just clash my account.
Do you know? No, but that's real. For some reason, even though we come from communities that are economically not that great, we seem to be very, very materialistic, bruv.
It's true.
Very extremely, bruv.
But do you know what I was saying to someone
And it's
yesterday?
very silly, bruv. Like, go on.
I was saying to someone yesterday, you don't need to be an up in designer to look expensive, to look like you got money. You just got to know how to dress yourself together. It's about how you put yourself. But there's a couple times when I've probably been in that outfit and it probably make me look like I have a little piece of something. But that outfit was probably £5 off Shein. It's just how you put it together that makes it look more.
Let me say a little tip that I think, yeah. Accessories, bruv. Yeah? Accessories, cuz. Yeah, cuz. And I will say this, yeah. A lot of people are wearing fake stuff. So don't get it twisted, bruv. A lot of people wear fake. This is what I think a lot of girls.
Someone on the cast.
I'm not saying nothing. I don't know about that. But listen, yeah, a lot of girls get bamboozled by guys, yeah, because you see guys they got fake chain, fake flipping Dior, Balenciaga, Amiri, fake. They got fake Jordans, fam. Yeah, bro, this is why it's dangerous if you're so superficial and you get so gassed up upon money and stuff like that. You'll easily get finessed. And I don't feel sorry for you.
Can I say something about designer?
Finessed, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel
Can
sorry.
I say something about designer?
Go on.
I always say, yeah, I'm going to stick to my Primark and my Shein gym set. Because you're not paying for the quality of the clothes, you're just paying for the brand name. So Lululemon, you're not paying for the quality. That quality you could get off AliExpress.
Yeah.
You're just paying for the name, Lululemon. Mm-hmm. Most of these designers, you're just paying for the name. You're not paying for the actual material and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you know what? Most of these brands, yeah. You see when you buy the replica, it's the same factory that make the real one. You know, it's the same factory, bruv, that make the legit one makes the fake one, bruv. Because a lot of times, when I've done the research about these things, yeah, you see the replicas like Jordans, for instance, yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of those replicas are just the ones that didn't make it because maybe they are defaults or defects. So now it became AAA or whatever it's called. But they're made in the same factory as the real ones, bro. How do you think they get so close to the real one? It's because it's made in the same place.
It's just ones that have just probably not got the wrong stitch or like
Yeah,
a little
one
wrong
stitching
mistake,
is
but it's still
rubbish,
the
like-
that. It's still it.
Trust me, like it's the people in the factory. They're just making a little bit of money. That's why they try to shut it down because the
Nike
people
Adidas
trying to
trainers
make
way
their
better than Balenciaga's. I'm not gonna lie. You know, the only one pair of on my feet that I've got that are designer are my Gucci sliders. But apart from that, I only want New Balance, Nike, and Yeezys. Like nothing more, nothing less.
Are you? Would you say that like okay? What when you girls see guys, yeah? What are the things that make you that you see that make you think, oh, this guy's got money?
Car.
I can't lie. You can't do that in this generation.
Yeah, you can't. But I'd look at. Okay,
No,
no.
you said
Let me go
car
back.
though.
Okay, no.
I look
Okay,
at the
let
way
me
you
let me
dress yourself
come. Let me
together.
land. I would say if you can, just look at where. Just ask them who do you live with. Ladies, when you meet a guy, ask him who do you live with, because within that you'll be able to decipher where he's at. If he lives at home, you can understand that he's either saving. He might tell you he's saving. He might tell you he's had to move back in because maybe a financial misfortune, or you can just tell that, you know what, that's just where he's at. If he's living by himself, depending on how he's living, where he's living, just try get to see how the guy lives. Then I would say,
Listen, a guy can be living by himself and have nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it's true.
Like, that doesn't
How many
mean-
times I've got to ask people? I've got to ask for money by people.
But I do get what I get your thought process, but bro, there's guys out there, yeah, where they live in a 1 bedroom, yeah, like, and there's nothing in there. They literally have a mattress, microwave. That's it, bro. Like,
and they've got money in their
I'm not
bank.
gonna lie.
one of my friends.
that's not
yeah,
what I'm saying.
One of my friends,
No, but-
yeah. Hold on. One of my friends, yeah. I'll never forget this. Like back in the day, yeah. Like he had his apartment, his place, 1 bedroom again, small place, bro. He showers at the gym. He don't turn the electric on. I think he had a little heater thing, but he barely turned that on. Like PlayStation, bed, that's all that was there. He would eat just chicken and chips outside. That's it. So that don't mean.
So what you're saying, he had money, even though that's what he was. No, you're not getting.
I'm not
what I'm
saying he had
No,
money.
he's saying
I'm
he
just
didn't
saying-
have
I'm
money.
just
Hear what I'm
saying.
saying. I never said if he's living by himself automatically, because do you know how high rent is in London? So high. So I'm saying, that's why I said try to see how he lives, right? Because depending on his place, how it looks like. I mean, you're talking about 1 microwave and no mattress. Come on. How? Because you can't even say a car because people can get that on finance. But how a guy lives, where he lives, what he has, can kind of give you an
Finance is still money,
indication.
though.
No, but guys,
but
finance
I'm
is
not-
still a bill.
No, a
That's
lot of
still
guys
money
are rolling
coming out.
out with big cars, and really and truly, they're
I'm not
renting
gonna
a
lie,
house
that's just
share.
rental. That's just
They're
rental.
doing a house share. Their shoes, their clothes, their bathroom accessories are all in 1 bedroom because they're literally trying. And I understand it. So you have to see how the guy lives. If you get the opportunity to see how he actually lives, don't just go by, oh, I live by myself, and automatically you think, oh, he's got money. Never, not in this London.
So
Not in
if
this
a guy
London.
if a guy says to you that he lives in a house with housemates, is he broke then?
You can't presume, but you should start thinking of more questions or trying to decipher. Listen, because that could be some ricochet situation. You never know. So
But think about it. That's what most people are doing, though. If they
You know
live
what?
outside,
Sometimes you gotta
think
think
about it,
smart.
and it's not just guys; it's girls are doing this as well. That many people, yeah, they leave their parents' house, then they're sharing a house, bro, or a flat. That is very common. Like, it's like people acting like this thing is not common. It is common, bro. This is average.
Can I say something?
Most people are not living. They just bought their house, or they're living in some Canary Wharf apartment.
Right,
No, they're not, bro. Like,
Can I say something?
gone.
I'm not gonna lie. People may laugh at me, but I look at your trainers, and I don't mean as in no way. I don't mean as in like.
I've heard that before.
I don't mean as in like the design, or like if it's Dior or Gucci or LV. I mean as in how worn down to the brim they are.
Oh my god.
Did you get, like, you will see a man, there's a certain type of way of having worn down Air Forces and worn down Air Forces.
Oh yeah, man, I got some
Like-
Air Forces right here, man. Look at the bottom. I've hardly worn them, bruv.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You
Hardly
see, if
worn,
it's,
bruv.
that's what I'm saying.
I
but
don't
you
even
see
wear
like
them.
that,
I don't even like these shoes. I don't even wear them.
it's
bruv.
about how worn down they're. Like, you know, Air Forces can crease.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But that's true. I think this, yeah, and I heard this from someone else, yeah, and this is very true. As anyone, not just men, but anyone, yeah, always make sure you look clean and tidy when you leave your house, bro.
Facts.
No matter what, I don't care how broke you are, bro. I don't care what your situation. Always look presentable when you leave your house. Even if it's just to go to the shop. Just always make sure you look neat and tidy. Don't be.
I feel like you're
If you
coming
only
from
got
me.
one
What I
pair of crepes, then
suggested.
look after those crepes properly, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's real like that, bro. Because, bro, you got people like Leah these days looking at your feet, fam. Yeah? And it's mad.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I have shoes that are worn down, but my shoes, you would think I haven't had them for like a year, and I've had them for maybe like 3-4 years, because I know how to look after my shoes. The shoes I've got here that I've actually had for 3 years, and you'll think, what? They look like they've only been worn once. Like, it's how, like, cool. Some people are just gonna have that one pair of shoes that they are gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just slap them on to go to the shop. Mine are just Crocs. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on now, you can't go wrong with a Crocs. But you see them Air Forces now. Sorry, the Air Forces get me still. Like, it burns my soul when I see how rusty and dusty.
Yeah, nah,
and
do you know what? I know what you mean.
Like,
But even girls as well. Girls be wearing some broken down.
okay, do you want to know one
Air
thing?
Forces,
How I know that you haven't got my? I know this. Everyone's gonna say I sound silly here, but when your shoelaces are tied.
What?
What?
What are you talking about, Leo? Like,
One thing with, like, I don't know. I don't. You see, with me, I don't tie my shoelaces. Yeah, like, I just have them hang a little piece. But you see, when the shoelaces them tied and they're tied tight down to the brim.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
finished.
when you know, because you see when you go onto like StockX or something, you know, the cheaper ones are more the big sizes, and the littler sizes. I know you're going for that big up size and tying them tight to go get them to.
Hey,
them.
they literally got laces and went like that. Nah, that's jokes, man. That's jokes. But yeah, nah, that's real still. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, hell yeah, this is what I was gonna. Leah just dropped off, but it's cool. And is there any other women that wanna come on and speak? You could come on, but if you're not a woman, then just listen, man.
Can I
Anyway,
ask you a question, King?
go on.
Bit personal. So, what are you looking for then
In
a
terms
woman?
of what?
In terms of a woman, are you looking for someone that's going to be like a partnership that can help you build? Or
I just want a woman that actually cares about me as a person, bro. That's the way I would see it. So if you actually care about me as a person, like you'd be sympathetic in all aspects. It's not even just finances. It's just you'd be thinking about what will help this guy, like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how can I make his life easier? Like, do you get what I'm saying? How can I show him that I actually care about him genuinely? How can I show him that I'm not here to be some kind of liability?
so how could she show you that outside of like a monetary value? How could she show you that? Because you know, you asked me that earlier, and I was like, do you know what, making the house into a home, like the dinners and the cleaning and just being there to listen and to nurture and all of that. How could she show you?
I think being supportive in every way she can, in every way she's capable of doing, like showing just like selflessness, like doing things for me where she's not necessarily getting any gain out of it. Like I've had that before. I've had a girl like that before. Like just I was just thinking that because I know you do social media, so I got this for you. Or have you eaten today? Because I made food and I was thinking about you, and I know you like this, so I made this. Or like all these kind of things, like coming up with ideas for things for me. Like that's somebody that's actually caring about you and
As
his
a person. Yeah, that's exactly. I
that's a
agree.
genuine person. Like, bro, I'm never asked a girl for money in my life, bro. Like, oh, can you give me money, please? What the fuck?
Or can you pay for half this bill that we've just eaten out?
No, I've never done. I would if I was in a situation where I knew that I couldn't pay for something, I wouldn't even go. I'm not stupid, like, do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be embarrassed, bro. Like, I got pride in it. I don't want to be embarrassed in it. So
you don't really fit into that 50-50 category then? Because a lot of men, when they say 50-50, they mean 50-50. They mean
no. Don't get it twisted. I think this, yeah. I think that like we live in a world where, or in a side of the world where the cost of living is high. So if a girl's not willing to contribute nothing, I don't think that's the kind of person I want to be with, because then that shows that she doesn't really care about me. Because if you care about me, you're gonna want to contribute. Now, it may not be necessarily 50-50, but like you should want to contribute, because you're gonna feel like, bro, I don't want to be a leech. I want to help him. I want it to be us against the world. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like when you're in a so-called healthy relationship, things like 50-50 kind of disappear. The relationship kind of like evolves into its own natural rhythm.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna.
There might be a time where she does more.
Right.
Nah, it's not, and even if it is if it's a phase where she's doing more, she shouldn't now like lose respect for man all of a sudden. Like, oh yeah, well I'm spending more money than you, so you know you're a boy now. You're a little boy to me. That's not a partnership, fam. That's why when people say, when women hear the whole term, really, when men are talking about 50-50, well, maybe not all men, but when I think of 50-50, I think of we're a partnership. I've got you, you've got me. Sometimes I'm doing everything. Sometimes you might need to do everything. But really and truly, as the man, I'm probably going to do more. But when a woman comes out and say, I'm not doing 50-50, I don't believe in that, that just lets me know what you are, bro. Now, you may believe that a man should do most of everything, and that's fair enough. But if you come across as I'm not doing a thing financially, that just lets me know you can't love anyone.
You feel like she's in it for the wrong reasons.
She don't love anyone, bro. She only loves herself, and that's it, and that's all she's capable of. Because if you care about someone, you will do the most for somebody, bro. Like you will go out of your way. Because them kind of girls that talk about I will never do 50-50, those are the ones that expect you to buy them a flipping Rolex, and then when it's your birthday, they'll buy you socks. That's the type. In my opinion, anyway.
Well, because this world is so balanced, that type will also meet the type that wants them. I think it's just a case of going for...
They do meet them, but it doesn't go nowhere.
It goes as far as it can go, and it goes as far as both parties are willing to allow it to go. They may not. But
the woman loses in the end, though. Do you think like unless a woman runs into a real idiot guy with money, which a lot of guys are actually starting to wise up now.
Yeah,
it's not like 10 years or 20, 15 years ago. Like there's so much content, guys talking about like what we think.
How not to get used, gold diggers.
Yeah, don't get used, don't be a simp, this, that, the other, even if you got money, blah, blah, blah. Like, so the consciousness of men has changed, and it's changing rapidly. Like,
yeah.
And now remember, the internet has made everybody able to see what everybody else is doing, like you said earlier. So now when we see guys like Tom Brady getting his wife leaving him for the PT, or you see what happened to Will Smith,
or even Cassie and Diddy, because she left for the PT as well, didn't she?
I mean, that's a different.
A bit, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No Diddy out here, bro. But yeah, leave the baby oil in the shop, bro.
Stop it.
But like now, guys are starting to see. So even them guys that were probably open to being a victim, they're not. They know what to look out for now. They know, oh, this woman's just trying to use me for money. Yeah, I'll pay for a little dinner here, there, get what I want, and then bounce. That's why a lot of these Instagram models are just baby mamas or just single. and that's it.
So I hear you in terms of like men are like catching on and they're evolving, and it's not like how it was 10 years ago and stuff. Don't you think like men also then need to take the initiative to understand that the current trend also is now pushing for them to evolve further on like a emotional, psychological, maybe even slightly going against their innate responses? Because when men say like, oh, I can sleep with anything and detach my emotions, I understand it's like this whole animalistic, oh, nature, but what about nature versus nurture? How about like men actually need to start evolving past their primitive desires and lust and start like thinking more on okay, if I'm
You
wanting
want men to go
loyalty,
against biology.
well, in a way, yeah, because
That's
we're
unrealistic.
human beings and we're ever evolving, are we not?
I mean, I guess so, but the same way women are evolving into all having a gold digger mindset now.
Okay, but who's
You
going to be
even
in
said
charge of
it.
the
You said that
reset?
most women are looking for a provider. They're not looking for love. So what you're saying is women are evolving into being basically gold diggers,
Yeah.
and you think that men should evolve into being more emotionally based.
My belief is
over being
women, yeah, so
wanting
100%,
next.
I stand by that, and let me tell you why. So my belief is that women have evolved into being so cutthroat, gold diggers, as you say, because of the lack of emotional depth and this whole notion of love that we were sold, which was more one-sided. It was more on the side of the woman should be idealizing this whole love notion, and men were never in it for love. So my thing is, women, the current state of women is because of the domino effect of how men have been with us, how we've seen our parents, our grandparents, the current state of relationships.
You said it. You said it. You already said the reason why a lot of women are like that. You said it earlier, and now you've changed to a different reason.
I'm
Another
not
excuse.
changing it. No.
You did. You said
Women,
that the reason why a lot of women are more materialistic now is because of the internet, and now you can see what people are doing everywhere instead of just the people down the road.
but what did I
Now
say
you're saying
before
it's because
that?
of what men have done to you lot to make you.
But
lot
that's what I said
materialistic.
before that. That's what I said before that. Women are realizing this whole ideology of love and this and that doesn't really exist. It's not really like
Yeah,
that
it
in
doesn't
relationships.
exist because
So
it doesn't. Do you want to know why it doesn't exist? Because you lot
not
go
the
for
finger,
Chads and
not you
Tyrones.
pointing the finger. Look
You
at
lot
you
go for
point.
Chads and Tyrones. Listen,
Nah.
because most of you. Okay, let me put it like this. Yeah, in terms of women and their what they do in different categories, the most attractive women above 8, they're gold diggers. They're monetized. Yeah, women above an 8 out of 10 are all monetized, bro. Yeah, so they don't care about looks. They only want a man with money, and it makes sense, right? The ones that are like between 6 and 8, those ones, they're all going for the most attractive guy, and then they get usually just they go through a blender because they're going with these attractive guys who are not committing to them because they got so many options and they keep sleeping with all different women, and then at the end of it they just end up bitter, baggage, mental baggage, life baggage, and then they want a guy to provide for them in the end anyway. So that's what usually happens. That's why the women will be like, oh yeah, these men don't love us. Yeah, because the guys you go for, you're not basing it on, and I'm not telling you to get with a ugly guy, and I'm not telling you to get with a broke guy. I'm saying you lot are not basing your choices on the content of his character. You're basing your choices on how good looking he is, how tall he is, and what car he drives. That's what you're basing it off. And that's when you have the problems. That's when the problems start. And now, oh men, they all want one thing, and they're not trustworthy. No, it goes back to your choices because women choose.
But I don't think it's fair to say that, like, just because a guy is good looking or tall, that means he doesn't have character. And I don't think it's right to even say just because a guy is short and ugly, he's got all the character in the world.
I never said.
It's so simple. It's the simplifying thing. I know, but at the same time, even though you're not saying that, you kind of are. Minus the car. Let's leave the car out the way.
I blatantly and clearly said what you need to go, what you need to base it on, content of character, and you just ignored that and said something else. I made it clear what I said, the content of the man's character.
But again, we had this conversation a few lives back, and it's difficult. Listen, I think women are finding it difficult, right? to be able to decipher what a good man is from what a bad man is.
That's your problem. That's your fault.
Because you men, yeah, are such
That's
good
nothing to do with
liars.
us.
You see, like a man's
If you're
defense
incapable of
mechanism.
finding if you're incapable of knowing what a good man is, how can you blame men for that? That's on you.
Because men are so good at lying, right? Because it seems like a man's defense mechanism is that he must qualify in the art of lying and deception, right? So it becomes difficult to be able to discern, because the thing about men, okay, maybe there's a few conscious men coming up now and they're trying to, you know, have morals and stuff, but the majority of men, all they have as their kryptonite is to be able to deceive. That's how they get books, that's how they get dates, that's how they get
Women lie all the time. Women lie every day with makeup and hair and high heels and waist trainers, bruv. What do you
Is that
mean?
your response?
I'm just being silly in it, but like that's actually true, because I'm not actually lying, because women do lie about that. But anyway, boom, at the end of the day, it's your duty to yourself to understand what a good content of character is and a bad content of character. What are the traits that are usually linked to both? And then also do a vetting process. So actually get to know this guy inside and out. Because guess what? People are good actors and people are good liars, but it is hard to hold that up for a long time. It's hard to keep that up for a long, prolonged period of time. Especially if all you want to do is just sleep with the person. After a while, you're gonna get tired of it and drop off. Like, I don't think like
Women need to keep their legs closed. Then women need to keep their legs closed. The Steve Harvey, what was it, 90-day rule then applies. Women need to keep their legs closed.
Well, at least if being committed to this person, like at least, like bro, like you like at the end of the day, you're an adult. Like you women are adults. Like sometimes it's like you want to be treated like kids when it suits you, but then other times you're equals. It's one of the two.
I think the majority of men are looking for box, and some of them may stumble into. No. What I'm saying is because a lot of men stumble into relationships, or they succumb to marriages, right? I think it's more of a rarity that a man is going to be marriage minded and very intentional on that. So a lot of men, majority of them, are just looking for box, and maybe as a bystander effect, they might stumble in a relationship due to a few circumstances, or they, like I said, might get married.
Who do you think is more likely to be a player? A guy who's average or a guy that's above average in looks and money?
Very, very obvious, right? Above average.
Above average. So if you go for those kind of guys, the probability is you're going to get thrown in the blender.
But like I said, a man is only as valuable as his options. And so therefore, these average or below average guys...
That's irrelevant.
Let me land.
Go on.
These average or below average guys that women are going for, what ends up happening is they end up dealing with the medium ugly guy, and they still end up getting stung midway, because that guy then gets a sense of like confidence, or then he then succumbs to his natural male nature and ends up messing up anyway. And then women are sort of like looking at it like, why didn't I just go for the...
Just because he got with you doesn't mean that he can go and get all the baddies in the club now.
Yeah, absolutely, not necessarily, but a lot of women...
So what difference is... Oh, he got confident now. So what does that mean?
He got confident and he slipped up. He got confident and he slipped up because, let's be honest, from my point of view, most men do cheat, or they have cheated.
It's 50-50. Men and women both cheat.
But for different reasons. Like you said,
men let's forget the reasons, because you just made a blanket statement.
But men can cheat and that's not true. But men can cheat and stay in the relationship. Men can cheat and stay in the relationship and say, oh, do you know what? I was able to separate my loins from my heart.
But that's the guys that do that, though. That's the specific guys that do that. You said most men cheat. That was your statement.
Yeah, most men cheat, and you said 50-50.
No, I said women cheat just as much as men do. And there's more women in this world.
So then even triple.
And the majority of women don't even find the majority of men attractive. So like when you say most men cheat, it's like, what are you talking about? Most men that you women like cheat? Yeah. Most desirable men cheat. Yes, of course Chris Brown is gonna cheat. Yeah.
And undesirable as well. And undesirable as well.
Huh?
And the undesirables do as well.
Who are they cheating with?
when they get an opportunity. Their opportunity.
What with Instagram models? Yeah.
No. But who doesn't matter if they're Instagram models or not.
No, just asking.
They're opportunists. They're opportunist cheats. They get it when they can.
So a guy who is average or below or 4 out of 10, he gets with a girl that's a 7, yeah, like quote unquote out of his league, and then he's gonna go and cheat with a 4. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the Red Bull's giving him wings. He's gonna try it. He's gonna get a boost of confidence to feel like he can do better. Absolutely.
I don't know why you think that. If anything, if the guy's average to below average, he's probably going to be super gassed that he's got a girl that's a 7. Because men don't get approached. Men don't have that many options. You remember, men are only as loyal as their options. So if he's a 4 to a 5 out of 10, he's probably not got that many options.
But the thing is, men become more attractive.
Why would he cheat on a girl that is out of his quote unquote out of his league to cheat with a woman that is way below her looks level? That makes no sense.
I know, right? But speak to women, King. Speak to actual women, and you will hear the stories. Like, go on.
No, these stories are with toxic Chads and Tyrones. What are you talking about? Listen, you already know. You've seen my YouTube channel. I've spoken to hundreds of women. Hundreds. Probably even up to 1,000 now. Different women. And whenever I talk to them, have you had a toxic ex? Yes. How long was you with him? 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. Was he tall? Yeah. Was he attractive? Yeah. It's always the same thing. You're trying to act like all these women are getting with butt ugly Shreks and these Shreks are cheating. That's not true, bro. That's not true.
Like I said, a man is only as faithful as his options, and when a man is in a relationship.
Okay, cool. So if a man has little to no options, then what is he gonna be faithful? Yes or no?
Yeah, by force, because he's got little to no options.
It don't matter if it's by force. Is he gonna be faithful? Yes or no, bro?
Yes, but when the opportunity strikes,
about?
Nah, I don't want to. I would never get with someone just because they can't get anyone. That's why they're faithful. Because,
but
like I'm trying to say to you, no, because like I'm trying to say to you,
all you should care about is the man faithful, yes or no. That's the most important thing.
No, but I care about where his faithfulness is coming from. I'm caring about whether it's coming from his moral compass that's ingrained deep within.
Oh, now you're getting it.
Or if it's just circumstantial.
Now you're understanding.
Or if it's just circumstantial. And I think I'm wise enough to know as a woman when a man is just circumstantially faithful.
Cool. I'm so proud of you. You used my words, moral compass. I'm proud of you. You're getting it. The penny is finally dropped.
Is it dropping? Yeah.
Yes. By force, bruv. Yes. Yeah. But regardless of that, so if you're not getting with guys that are maybe less attractive than you like because potentially they're only loyal because they have to be, then what guys would you be dating then?
You asking me personally?
What guys would you be dating then? Huh?
Oh, listen, the type of guy that is right for me, I don't think he's been born yet.
And what type of guy's right for you?
Oh, the type of guy that's right for me, he's either not been born yet, he's not in this country, or he don't exist.
He's not been born yet?
Yeah.
That might be a crime still.
It could be. But listen.
Wow. Mad thing.
No, but listen, Madonna, let's not judge. But yeah, on a serious note.
Yeah, that's all mad, but yeah.
My ideal guy.
I think you like Chads and Tyrones. That's what you like.
No, if I did, I'd own it. They actually give me the ick.
So if you come across a guy that's tall and handsome, that gives you the ick.
But why does tall and handsome have to be a Chad or Tyrone?
Because that's the archetype.
No, that's so stereotypical.
Women like tall guys and women like handsome guys. I mean,
that doesn't mean his character is giving Chad or Tyrone.
You don't know the character until you get to know someone. But we're going off first impression.
Do I like tall, handsome guys? Absolutely.
There you go. So why did you say no straight away, man? You're not real, fam.
No, because you said because you said the type of guy. I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about character, like everything. I'm not just talking about looks because I'm a sapiosexual as well.
Oh God, here we go.
No, it's true.
Hey, listen, have you heard of the halo effect?
I have, but in what context?
But you think in context of attraction?
Oh yeah, it makes you think that they're a good person and they've got good attributes and stuff. Okay, I do believe
So
in
do you
that.
believe
But
that to be true?
I do, but I feel like it can also work negatively as well.
How
So
would it work
sometimes,
negatively?
okay, so halo effect in the instance of a woman, sometimes a very beautiful woman, she does get the halo effect in terms of like pretty privilege, but then at the same time, she can be deemed as not being quite intelligent, or she can be deemed as maybe being bitchy, or
The guy will still talk to her. What do you mean? If the guy comes across a woman that's like very very attractive, but he thinks, oh, she may not be the brightest, sharpest tool in the box, he don't care.
but have you seen that sometimes attractive women can get treated really badly as well
By who?
by men?
How?
How?
How? And in comparison to who? What are you talking about?
I'm saying it can go both ways. It can go both ways, having the halo effect. Just because you're attractive, typically people would think that you're a nice person, your life is perfect, you've got everything going
Yeah.
on for you, you can't do wrong.
Yeah.
But within society, like day to day, let's say, for example, with men, so let's say really good looking guys, how I've seen it affect them, where they told me, so women can think that they are like a gallus, womanizer.
I was gonna say that, yeah. You're a player. You must be a player,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. It can go both ways. When you're a very attractive woman as well, you tend to not be able to get a lot of female friendships because there's a lot of
Who
competition.
cares?
This is you're being contextual and you're saying it with regard to you, but I'm saying this is how it can be flipped over to the other side. You know, there's
But
two
we're
sides.
not talking about making friends, brethrens. We're not
Okay,
talking
so
about
another
that.
thing, when you're a very attractive woman, like I said, you're seen as like you're not very intelligent, or you're seen as though like
Guys
you're
don't mind
quite
that.
superficial.
Guys don't mind that, bro. As
But
long
what
as
about
you're
the
not, as long as
superficiality?
you're not completely low intelligence, yeah.
What about the
I don't think
superficiality?
guys really care that much. As long as you treat the man nicely, I'm sure most guys don't mind. If you're good looking and you're just kind of like normal, basic, I think guys would be okay with that, bro. I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind
'Cause
what?
I know I'm smarter than a lot of people look around anyway. So I always assume that anyway. Like I know I look like a stereotype, but I'm a lot smarter than I look. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's why I can have these conversations for hours and just normal. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. So I don't think guys really care about the aptitude of women like that.
So
As
like
long
I
as she's not
said,
completely like just unintelligent.
so like I said, going back to what you said, the 8s and above, they are the gold diggers. Can you see already? That's kind of like the negative effects of the halo effect.
When
Because
was the
I'm
last
trying to
time?
say,
Okay, cool. When was the last time you saw a woman who was clearly not kind of? I'm not sure. A woman that was clearly an 8 or above, and she was with an average guy, average height, in an average car.
the last time. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So when you said car, I said no. Because-
Yes.
Yeah. Not
It
not
doesn't
recently.
exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Because when I see that, I just assume that the guy's looking after her. She's happy. She's got most of what she wants.
He's gonna have to.
If I
Yeah.
see a beautiful girl in a banger, I'm thinking, sis, are you okay?
Not even a banger. Not even a banger. Let's just say a Ford Focus, bruv.
Yeah, I mean, that's
When was the
normal.
last time you seen a girl clearly woman? Let's not say girl. It's woman clearly 8 and above out of 10 with an average looking guy, no frills. You know, no frills crisps, no frills in a normal car. It doesn't exist. I ain't never seen that.
I think that's a bit extreme that it doesn't exist. Maybe in them instances,
Okay,
she probably,
But
she's not
okay,
superficial.
it must be very rare because I've never seen it.
Like, it's not the norm, but it does happen.
And why do you think that is?
Listen, beauty,
She didn't answer. She's gonna say something
no,
different. It's fine. Go on. I won.
beauty is a commodity, yeah?
W's
When
in
people-
the chat.
So when people say looks don't matter, they are lying. Yeah? Beauty is a commodity. So for a woman who is an 8 plus, but then on top of it, she knows that she's an 8 plus, she can use that to demand and to entice what she wants.
Yes, so she's monetized. So you're agreeing with me? They're monetized.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it hurts. I know.
Yeah, but she has to know it, because there's a lot of 8+s. I wouldn't say a lot, but there are 8+s walking about and they don't know it as well. So sometimes she has to know it, and she has to kind of put that value on her head.
Yeah, but then as soon as she knows it, she's gone, bruv.
Good for her, because
good
beauty
for
is
her,
a commodity.
Yeah, good for her. And then she'll be on Instagram, and then it'll just be her and her kid on Instagram, and maybe a couple.
What? Why?
No, but it's true though. This is what I'm saying. It's true though. Listen, everybody, yeah, just go to Instagram. Yeah, you're gonna see loads of banging chicks there on that explore page, bruv. Let's go.
Would you never be with a single
And they ain't got
mother?
no man, fam. How does that even make sense? Some of
You
them,
never-
they're in the old age. They still don't have no man, and they look great for their age. Why? Why is that? You got
Maybe it's because they don't have a man.
Huh?
Maybe it's because they don't have a man that they look so good for their age.
No. Here we go. But anyway, like, how did they make it through all of these years? 10 years of being a bad bee in your prime, and you didn't meet one guy that was worthy to settle down with, or there wasn't one guy that wanted to settle with you. I don't know. Remember, women choose, you know.
But again, you know, when I was talking about the halo effect, right? The negative sides, very attractive women do tend to get exploited more as well. I don't know if you've seen that side of it. They tend to be very schmexualized and seen as just like arm candy and stuff. So on the flip side, I can kind of understand. Yes, I do agree that sometimes it's kind of like you couldn't pick right, but sometimes the pickings are slim. And sometimes, yes, the women aren't picking right, but sometimes when you are a very beautiful woman, you do get...
Yeah.
You do attract like the wrong type a lot.
And what's the wrong type? What is that wrong type?
You know, like you say, the Chads and the Tyrones.
Oh, so you've come back full circle to come and say what I said.
I've never disagreed with that. I've not disagreed with that.
Let's go.
I've never disagreed with that.
Let's go. Hold on.
No,
I have to
stop
pull
it.
out the trophy for you.
Put it away.
Let's go.
Put it away.
Let's go.
I've never disagreed with that point. I'm saying that there's a flip side to being an attractive woman. The halo effect isn't just...
Well, you got pretty privilege. You got two privileges. One, just for the fact you're a woman, you got privilege advantage there. Then being pretty woman, that's an even second advantage. Like if you are a good looking attractive woman, yeah, and you still mess up, it's on you, bro. You had everything going for you. And that's it. You didn't have to get with a millionaire. You could have got with a guy that's just doing well. And he's gassed to be with you. He loves you and he's gassed. Yeah, but no, they want to go on yachts in Morocco, bruv. That's what they want to do, and they do that through their prime years until they can't do it no more. Nah, life comes and slaps them in the face, bruv. That's it. That's what happens, fam. Because guess what? There's always younger women that come up after you, bruv. The ones who you used to be is now behind you.
So I just want to ask you a question. Do you believe that men hit the wall as well?
Yeah, of course, we all get old, but men and women are judged differently by men and women.
So in that instance, right, as a man, we know that a man's currency is his finances. And
It's everything.
and so even if a man is short, decrepit, and, you know, just whatever, if he's got money, he can still attract the type of mate that he wants.
You
Why
can
do-
you attract gold diggers. Because remember, you got to understand that, yeah, money is a thing, but still looks is a thing as well. So you could have two 50-year-old men, yeah. Let's put this example: two 50-year-old men, yeah, that are successful. They've got peas, yeah. Boom. One of them, he's just let himself go. The other one has been in the gym. You know when you see them old guys, them old men, and like
they still look good.
training, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro, obviously the one that's been looking after himself, he's got an advantage, a way bigger advantage, bro. Like, yes, they still both would probably attract gold diggers, But the one that's in shape could actually attract a woman that is actually attracted to him. So there you go.
That means a lot to men to be loved for who they are, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think everyone wants to be loved for themselves. Like,
That's why men need to work on themselves a little bit more. That goes back to my point earlier. Men need to evolve past their I'm just a man. I can sit there and not really do much, but all that stuff. Men need to evolve past.
oh my God. What? Who is more invested in self-improvement, men or women?
No, I'm not talking about self-improvement because we had this conversation.
Yeah, but what you're describing is self-improvement.
Okay, so let me use words. When men say that they can be in a relationship and they don't need much, but you know that the person that you're with is a woman and she needs a lot more attention, she needs a lot more stimulation. The relationship itself, a relationship, even a friendship, needs nurturing, right? It needs you to kind of like shift the coal around a little bit and stoke the flame. So men need to evolve past the I'm just a man and I don't need to be emotionally sort of like connected or dig deep.
Who says I'm just a man? Who says
I feel like that's a I do. Do you not have emotions?
What do we definitely hear? I'm just a girl.
Oh, stop. That's a new trend that started in the past.
It doesn't matter if it's new. I've heard a lot of grown women say that, bruv. I'm just a girl.
But that ties into the
So, but you're talking about men are saying that I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Guys don't say that.
They don't say I'm just a guy, but like men are logic. Men don't need much. Men just need to be fed and schmecks and just simplify a man down to the basic necessities. Don't you feel like if men need to be needed so much and appreciated for who they actually are, men also need to evolve further and like do a bit more. I'm not saying all men, but there's a lot of men that just don't have emotional depth. There's a lot of men that just aren't able to like emotionally connect.
You want men to basically be like women. It's never gonna happen, bro.
Look at you being so, it's never going to happen.
Men and women are different. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to understand each other and understand where we're coming from.
But to live under one roof and have sustainable relationships, like how society keeps on telling us, or how some of us are craving to have sustainable long relationships, we are going to have to learn each other and adapt and evolve.
Yes, I get that. But like, you're trying to be like, men can't just be happy being ourselves and wanting just to be fed and getting our balls drained. Bro, that's biology. Like, you can't get away from that. I'm sorry, that's just men, innit? Like, that's biology, fam. Like, now can we evolve and understand our emotional intelligence and all that? Yes, of course, but the fundamentals still remain the same.
I'm not saying that shift it. I'm saying that's why I chose the word evolve and like you said, adapt. Add on to what's already there. Add on.
But we're still not going to think like how women think.
I'm not saying to think like how women think. You can never be a woman as we can never be men, right?
But you want us to change. Why don't you lot change as well?
But aren't men leaders, apparently?
Yes, I'm leading.
So we will follow.
Exactly, I'm the leader.
So lead and let me follow. So lead and let me follow. Change.
Yeah, I am. That's why I'm giving you instructions and tasks. I'm leading you to change.
Stop.
I'm telling you what to do. You're not listening, fam.
Wow. Dictatorship. That's what that sounds like.
Oh, you see? I thought you said you wanted a leader. Now I'm a dictator. Which one do you want, fam?
I want you to lead by example. I don't know what
you want me to lead by listening to you.
No, lead by example. Show me the way and let me emulate.
You can't do what I do, fam. So
all right,
that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there, man.
It's good talking with you anyway.
Hey, listen, it's always a pleasure chatting to you every single time, man. I'm gonna be back again tomorrow as usual and all that good stuff, man. But you've been awesome.